Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel, Bachelor Show. The glow of candlelit dinners and the glimmer of evening gowns might be the dream setting for a romance. But behind the scenes of The Bachelor, there's another story, one of relentless production schedules, emotional turmoil, and subtle pressures that push even the calmest individuals to their limits. This season, the spotlight had shifted to Grant Ellis, the dashing new bachelor whose charm and earnestness had captivated audiences. But as the show approached its final episodes, whispers began to emerge that Jess Palmer, the show's host and former bachelor himself, had been instrumental in nudging Grant toward making a decision. And not just any decision, a definitive one that would crown a winner. Grant Ellis had always approached the experience with a clear vision. He wanted love, but he also wanted it to feel real. Over the course of weeks, he had narrowed down his choices to two incredible women. Sophia, a vivacious entrepreneur with a heart of gold, and Claire, a reserved yet deeply compassionate artist. Each had a unique connection with him, and as the finale loomed, Grant found himself increasingly torn. On one hand, Sophia's energy and ambition felt like a mirror to his own drive. On the other, Claire's gentle presence offered the stability and depth he craved. In an off-camera moment, Grant confided in Jesse. "I just don't know, man," he admitted, running a hand through his perfectly coiffed hair. "I feel like I'm trying to choose between my head and my heart." Jesse, leaning casually against a table in the bachelor mansion, gave him a knowing smile. "Trust me, Grant, I've been there," he said. "But at the end of the day, you're here to make a choice. That's what this journey is all about." Jess Palmer, having walked in Grant's shoes years earlier, knew the weight of the decision. As the host, he wasn't just a figurehead. He was a confidant, a sounding board, and occasionally the voice of reason when the chaos of reality television threatened to derail everything. In the days leading up to the final rose ceremony, Jesse took on the role of unofficial counselor. He listened as Grant poured out his doubts and concerns, offering advice drawn from his own experience. "You don't have to be 100% sure," Jesse told him during a late-night conversation. "But you do have to take a leap of faith. If you keep waiting for absolute certainty, you'll never make a move." Grant nodded but didn't look entirely convinced. As the finale approached, the pressure from producers began to mount. The stakes were high, not just for Grant, but for the show itself. The season had been a ratings hit, and the audience was deeply invested in the outcome. But there was a problem. Grant's indecision was throwing a wrench in the works. Typically, by this stage in the process, The Bachelor had a clear frontrunner. Grant, however, was still vacillating between Sophia and Claire. Behind the scenes, producers leaned on Jesse to help steer Grant toward a resolution. While they couldn't force him to choose, they knew Jesse's influence could make a difference. "I get where Grant's coming from," Jess confided to a producer during a break. "This isn't just a TV show to him. It's his life. But he's got to make a call." The night before the final rose ceremony, Jesse decided it was time for a candid talk. He found Grant sitting alone on the balcony of his suite, staring out at the twinkling lights of the city below. "Grant," Jess began, pulling up a chair, "can I be real with you for a second?" Grant nodded, his expression weary. "I know this feels impossible," Jesse said. "But the truth is, there's no such thing as a perfect decision. Life and love is messy. What matters is that you're honest with yourself and with these women." Grant looked at him, searching for clarity. "But what if I make the wrong choice?" Jess smiled. "The wrong choice is not making one at all." The words seemed to resonate. For the first time in days, Grant looked less burdened. When the day of the final rose ceremony arrived, Grant appeared calm but determined. Standing in the picturesque garden where the finale was to take place, he took a deep breath and prepared to follow his heart. Sophia was the first to arrive, radiant in a flowing red gown. Her eyes sparkled with hope as she approached Grant, but as he began to speak, her expression changed. "Sophia," Grant said, his voice steady, "you've brought so much joy and excitement into my life. You've shown me what it means to dream big and chase after what you want." But he hesitated, visibly emotional. "My heart is leading me in a different direction." Tears welled in Sophia's eyes, but she maintained her composure. "Thank you for being honest," she said, her voice trembling. "I wish you all the best." When Claire arrived moments later, Grant's demeanor shifted. His words were filled with emotion as he confessed his feelings. "Claire," he said, taking her hands, "from the moment I met you, I felt something I couldn't explain. You've brought a sense of peace and love into my life that I didn't even know I was searching for. I don't know what the future holds, but I want to face it with you by my side." Claire, tears streaming down her face, nodded. "I feel the same way," she whispered. As Grant presented her with the final rose, the crowd of crew members watching from behind the cameras erupted into quiet applause. In the weeks following the finale, Grant and Claire's relationship became the talk of Bachelor Nation. Fans were thrilled with the outcome, praising Grant for following his heart and commending Jesse for his guidance throughout the process. During the After the Final Rose special, Jess reflected on the journey. "Grant was one of the most thoughtful and genuine bachelors we've ever had," he said. "It wasn't easy for him, but he showed us all what it means to be vulnerable and take a chance on love." Grant, seated next to Claire, smiled as he looked back at Jesse. "I couldn't have done it without you," he said. "You pushed me when I needed it most." For all the glamour and drama that The Bachelor offers, it's moments like these that remind viewers of its heart. The messy, unpredictable, and beautiful journey of falling in love. Jess Palmer's role in guiding Grant Ellis to make his choice highlighted the delicate balance between reality television and real-life emotion. As the credits rolled on another unforgettable season, fans were left with the hope that love, no matter how complicated, is always worth the leap.